Channel 8's 10-week course of Aleutian Russian. We'll be featuring a number of items in this short course to give you the basics on conversation so that you can converse, talk to the Russians that visit us here in Dutch Harbor and on Alaska every year, talk to them about their families, their lives at sea, tell them about yourself, and perhaps help them out a little bit. Channel 8 is featuring this course in conjunction with the Aleutian Eagle, which will print vocabulary lists every week for our course. And you may want to pick up a copy of the Aleutian Eagle before you sit down to watch each lesson so that you can read along and follow our class. We have a Russian, a friend of mine, Igor, and he'll be helping us with pronunciation. He'll read a list of each week's words, and one thing I recommend you do is just repeat the words right after him without worrying about meaning. Just repeat right after him and try to get a feeling for the sound of the words. We'll also be teaching you a little bit of grammar, not too much, because grammars can get rather dull and boring. And we'll be teaching you some phrases also. So by the end of the course, you should know a few hundred words and the basics of some Aleutian Russian. Just coming up here, we'll have Igor reading this week's vocabulary words. And following that, we'll have a lesson. And the students in the lesson were not briefed. I didn't teach them anything before the class. So you'll be learning your very first Russian right along with them. This will just give you some idea of how simple speaking Russian can really be. And I also hope we'll have a few surprises in this course also. And thank you very much for watching Channel 8. До свидания.
Это. Что? Стол. Книга. Ручка. Чашка. Тут. Там. Или. И. Нет. Да. Не. Слово. Стул. Карандаш. Газета. Рыба. Судно. Здравствуйте. До свидания.
Чашка, ручка, книга. Чашка.
Чашка. Ручка.
Ручка.
Книга.
Книга.
Хорошо. Это ручка.
Ручка.
Это ручка.
Это ручка.
Это книга.
Это книга.
Это чашка.
Это чашка.
Это ручка? Да.
Да.
Это ручка.
Это ручка. Да.
Это книга?
Да. Это книга. Да.
Это чашка?
Это чашка.
Это ручка?
Это ручка.
Да, это ручка.
Да, это ручка.
Это книга?
Да, это книга.
Это книга? Нет.
Нет.
Это не книга. Это чашка.
Это не книга.
Это не,
чашка.
это не книга, это чашка.
Это чашка.
Да. Это книга? Нет.
Нет.
Это не книга, это ручка.
Ручка.
Это книга?
Нет.
Это не книга. Это книга? Нет. Это не книга, это ручка.
Ручка.
Это чашка?
Да.
Это чашка.
Это чашка.
Это книга?
Да, это книга.
Это книга или чашка? Это книга.
Это книга или...
Это книга или чашка? Это книга.
Это книга.
Это ручка или чашка?
Чашка?
Это ручка или чашка? Это ручка.
Чашка?
Нет, это не чашка, это ручка. Ручка.
Чашка?
Это чашка.
Чашка.
Да. Это чашка или
Нет.
ручка?
О,
Это ручка.
это ручка.
Это книга или ручка?
Это книга или ручка?
Это ручка.
Это ручка.
Это книга или чашка? Is this a cup or a book?
Это чашка.
Это чашка. Это книга или ручка? Is this a book or a pen?
Это книга.
Что это? Это книга?
Да, это книга.
А это? Это книга?
Нет.
Это чашка?
Нет.
Что это? Это ручка.
Это ручка.
Что это?
Это чашка.
Что это?
Это книга.
Что это?
Это ручка.
Что это?
Это чашка.
Что это?
Это книга.
Это ручка или книга?
Это ручка.
Это чашка или книга?
Это чашка.
Хорошо. Now we're going to try and let you guys ask a few questions. You can try asking 3 different kinds. Just yes and no questions. Это книга? Это ручка? You can ask a few and or questions. Это книга или чашка? Is that a book or a cup? And then finally, you can try a few key question words like что это? Что это? Что это? What is it? What is it? What is it? You want to try asking a question? Start with a simple one. Just by changing the intonation on the это книга, you make it a question. Это книга? So you may want to indicate something there.
Это книга или чашка?
Это чашка.
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 Это книга.
Книга.
Это книга.
Нет.
Это не книга. I like whole
Нет.
sentences. Full sentences.
Нет, это книга.
Это не книга.
Это не книга, это ручка. What was the other kind of question?
So start. You do 1 or 2 more of the simple ones, like это книга. Just ask a question that the answer is yes to.
Это ручка?
Нет.
Это ручка?
Я?
Да.
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 Это ручка.
Это чашка?
Это чашка.
How about an or question, Glenn?
Это чашка или это ручка?
Это чашка.
Чашка.
Да,
Okay.
это чашка.
How about a couple of what questions? Что это?
Что
Что
это?
Что это? What is it?
Что это?
Это ручка?
Что это?
Это чашка?
Чашка.
Чашка.
Чашка. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I hope most of the viewing audience could follow most of that. And that's all for this week. We're very glad you were watching. And until next week,
До
свидания.
свидания.
to our second week of Aleutian Russian. Our grammar this week will consist of telling you a little bit about gender. Now, all Russian nouns are either masculine, feminine, or neuter, and I'll be giving you a few clues today so you can tell which is which, and we have some students here to help us determine the gender of some nouns. First of all, feminine nouns generally end in an a or ya sound. Not all of them, but most of them. So for now, you can just think of that as a rule. So ruchka, one of the words we learned last week, pen, is feminine. Then generally, words ending in a consonant like stol, table, or gorod, city, one of this week's words, those are masculine. And let's see, words ending in an o or yo sound, those are neuter. And just for reference, so I won't get into this right now, words ending in an e or u sound are plurals. So ruchka would be singular, and then pens, more than one pen, would be ruchki. And kniga, knigi, stol, stoli, and so forth. So let's see, here we have ruchka, feminine. How about kniga? Which one's that, Glenn?
Feminine.
Why is that?
Because it ends in an A sound.
Oh, how about stol?
Stol would be masculine because it ends in a consonant.
Okay. Slova?
Slovo would be neutral.
Neuter.
Or me.
Okay, good. Gorod?
Again, that would be masculine because
Great.
of the consonant.
And sudna?
Would be neuter.
Sudna is another one of this week's words. It's ship, one that everyone in
Ship?
Alaska should know. Ship or
Sudna?
boat. And strana?
Feminine.
Okay, I'll read off a few more of this week's words. See how, remember, you can always find the words for any particular week in the Aleutian Eagle. They'll all be printed in the Aleutian Eagle. Here's the more difficult one. Moria.
Moria?
Yeah.
Feminine.
No, that's neuter, but that was a tough one.
Oh. Why?
Zaliv. Bay. Zaliv.
Zaliv. Masculine.
Good. Let's see. Praliv.
Praliv, masculine.
Oh, very good. Stena.
Feminine.
Very good. Okay. A few words on our vocabulary list. Once again, we'll have Igor, our resident Russian, reading for us the vocabulary words for this week. And a few tips on reading the vocabulary words. You'll notice that, well, maybe you could get a close-up of this, Len. That we have three columns. In the left column, we have the Russian, and we realize that may be a little bit difficult for you at this point to follow, but I put it in there so that you could perhaps study the vocabulary on your own and the letters of the Russian alphabet if you have an interest, and kind of compare it with the second column. The second column is a transliteration into English, and you'll notice that there's always one syllable in every word that's capitalized, and that means that's where the accent is. So, for example, on gorod, the G-O-R is capitalized and the O-D is in smaller letters, so it's gorod and not gorod. And strana would be strana because the N-A is capitalized. So you may want to watch for that. And next week I'll be giving you some more tips on how to help you with these vocabulary words, but for now, what I do recommend is just repeating the words after Igor says them, just to get a feeling for the words and the pronunciation, and then you can perhaps study their meanings on their own. So, here's to Igor.
Город. Ваш город. Чей город? Моя страна. Ваша страна. Его страна. Чья страна? Мое судно. Ваше судно. Его судно. Чье судно? Город. Страна. Судно. Мой. Моя. Мое. Ваш. Ваше. Ваше. Его. Чей? Чья? Чье? Где? Море. Залив. Хорошо. Плохо. Здесь. Пролив. Стена. Как дела? А у вас?
Не успеешь, когда, значит, уже друг твой станет седым, старость. Значит,
Быстро время проходит.
да.
Ага.
Глухари на таковище бьются грудью для крови. Не на шутку расхотелись быть бы живу, какие мы когда-то жили. От зари до зари влюблялись и любили, мчались годы с той поры. Мчались годы, стерлись клювы, раны зажили давно. Только шрамы доброй памятью остались, а рябину всю склевали да порвали на вино. Но кто вспомнил, прилетали на знакомое окно. Над крышей бьется дым, и Антоновка созрела, пожелтела. Оглянуться не успел я, друг мой, волк стал седым. А ведь тоже было дело, передергивал латы. И на болотах все как прежде, крылья хлопают вдали. Все буянят, все расплескивают удаль. Только я уже не буду, занавесочку спалил. И то вспомню, то забуду, как за птичками ходил. На-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на-на- Горовей не на шутку расходились. Быть бы живу, как и мы когда-то жили. От зари до зари не влюблялись и любили, мчались годы с той поры. И влюблялись, и любили, мчались годы с той поры.
We got the question, why do we have genders, nouns of different genders anyway? In English, we don't really have that problem. But that's just the way it is and you have to live with it. So there.
Okay.
There's some historical reason in the early history of the language, but most European languages, for example, have genders and have to worry, and the speakers have to worry about gender. So it's just something you have to live with. As soon as you learn a new noun, learn the gender while you're at it. A quick review, you remember that words ending in a or ya sounds are feminine, and consonants are masculine, and ones ending in o or yo sounds are neuter. And to help bring this home, we're going to learn possessives. That is, today we'll just center on 3 possessives: mine, yours, his, and then the question, whose. So, there are 3 forms of my, depending on whether you're talking about a masculine, feminine, or neuter noun. These are the basic masculine forms. Moj gorod is my city. Vaš gorod, your city. Jeho gorod is his city. You'll notice that only my and your change depending on the gender. In his, it's jeho all the way across. So that will make it easier for you to remember. Jeho gorod, jeho strana, jeho kniga, etc. So we may want to practice a little bit here. Glenn, how would you say my city?
Moj gorod.
Very good. Glenn, how about your country? No, did we go down these? Strana is country, and Sudna once again is ship. How would you say your country?
Vaš strana.
Ваша страна.
Ваша страна.
Okay, let's see. Let's ask Glenn a question about his ship. Let's see. How about my ship?
Mojo sudno.
Glenn, how about your city?
Your city. Vaša strana.
Your city, город.
Oh. Vaš gorod.
Okay. So we'll work on just ruchka for now. Just ruchka. How would you say my pen?
My ruchka. Moj ruchka.
Moja ruchka.
Moja.
Moja ruchka.
Moja ruchka.
Yeah, remember ruchka is feminine. How about
Oh.
your pen?
Vaša ručka.
And his pen?
Feminine. Jeho strana.
Его
Jeho ruchka.
ruchka.
Jeho
Good.
ruchka.
Now we'll work on just a masculine noun. Once again, stol is table. How about my table?
Moj stol.
Very good. How about his table?
Jeho stol.
How about your table?
Vaš stol.
Vasha.
Vash.
Good.
Vash.
Vash stol.
Vash.
stol.
Vaš stol.
You're more on top of it than I am. And we'll work on one neuter noun. How about my word? Well, how about ship? I like ship better. How about my ship?
My ship. Moj sudno.
Yeah, mojo sudno.
Mojo sudno.
Good. His ship.
Jeho sudno.
And your ship.
Vaše sudno.
Okay, great. And the one other word we want to work on is che, whose ship. I'll ask you a few, let's see, Yeah. How about whose table? Whose table? Чей стол?
Чей стол?
Чей стол?
Слово чье слово? Книга чья
Чья
книга?
Чья
Чья
книга?
книга?
It's sort of a strange word there. So, Glenn, how about whose book?
Чья книга?
Great. Whose table?
Чей стол?
Great. And let's see. Whose city?
Чья город?
Чей город.
Чей город? Чей город? Okay.
Very good. Glenn, I'll ask you a difficult question. Чья ручка?
Чья ручка? Ваша ручка.
Very good. Thank you Thank you very much, and we'll be back shortly with some more. What will we be back with? We'll be back with some more clips. Of our lesson of Aleutian Russian this week. Before we close, I would just like to clarify on the neuter, masculine, feminine gender issue here that the gender of a noun and how you change these possessive words change independently of the subject. So a woman would say Maya ruchka, and a man would also say Maya ruchka. So although the gender of the person speaking may affect a verb, which we'll be getting into next week, it does not affect these direct objects or the nouns in any way at all. So once again, thank you for watching Aleutian Russian, and until next week, до свидания. Мой стакан.
Нет, это не ваш стакан.
А, чей это стакан?
Это мой стакан.
А где мой стакан?
Там ваш стакан.
А, ясно, спасибо.
Пожалуйста.
Это водка?
Нет, это не водка.
Что это?
Это вино.
А, вино. Welcome to our third week of Aleutian Russian, and this week we'll be beginning with an entirely new topic. It's fairly complicated, so we'll try to go through it very slowly. We have all our most difficult topics towards the beginning of the course, and later on we'll just be getting an opportunity to practice with those. So we'll be working on verbs this week. We're introducing 3 verbs this week. The verbs to go, to give, and to speak. And if you check your vocabulary list in the Aleutian Eagle, you'll notice that we introduce some pronouns, that is the words for I, which in Russian is ya,
Yeah.
you, which in Russian is вы,
Voi.
It's
Вы.
yeah.
Voi.
A good way, yeah, you sort of like put the pen on your nose and go
Oi.
Yeah, kind of. It's just an sound.
Oi.
One way to actually kind of imitate the sound is to make an ooh sound, which everybody can do. Then just open your mouth. Ooh.
Oi.
So just do ooh. Go ooh. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, it takes a while to get the hang of it. But anyway, we, which is you, it's a formal and plural we, but you can also use it with your friends. But we'll be using we for the time being. And he, which is on. On. Now, here on the left in our chart, we see the basic patterns of the verbs we'll be seeing. Ya, plus the stem of the verb, and over here I indicate all the stems. ID, id for go. For give, it's just plain da. And for speak, the stem is gavar. So, and then for I speak, we have an u or u on the end. Ya, idu, ya, dayu, ya, gavaryu. With we, hope you can follow there. The basic stem is id, so we, idiote, we, dayoche, Вы
Вы
говорите. You may recall that where it's capitalized, that's where the accent is. It varies from word to word, and it takes a long time to get a feeling for it. So for now, you'll just have to kind of memorize it. And here we have he. The basic stem is id with go, and yot is the ending. So on idiot. He gives on dayot, and he speaks on
говорит.
говорит.
Он говорит.
Okay, once you look at this, basically, now you just got to start memorizing it. So we'll drill you a little bit, and we'll let you cheat for the time being. How about I go?
Я иду.
He speaks.
Он говорит.
You give.
Вы даёт.
Вы даете.
Вы даёте.
Yeah, very good.
The E has a sound of its own.
Yeah, it's not very loud, but it sort of trails off. Вы
Даёте.
даете.
Вы даёте.
Yeah, they are pretty much the same as the вы. I'm sorry, the вы is pretty much the same as the on, except you just add a tiny little E on the end. On идет, no, вы идете. So you have to put in that little E in there, but it's not very loud. How about you speak?
Вы говорите.
And you give?
Вы даёте.
Very good. How about I give?
Я даю.
And let's see. He goes.
Он идёт.
Very good. Thank you very much. We'll be going now to Igor, going over some vocabulary words. Once again, just repeat after Igor, and we'll come back with some skits and some practical usage of these verbs in context.
Mark, how do you say baby, do you want to dance?
Слова для третьего урока. Идти. Я иду. Вы идете. Он идет. Дать. Я даю. Вы даете. Он дает. Говорить. Я говорю. Вы говорите. Он говорит. Я. Он. Она. Вы. Идти. Дать. Говорить. По-английски. По-русски. Урок. Немножко. Очень. Работа. Учитель. Студент. Меня зовут. Как вас зовут?
Some of the words we've learned this week into comprehensible sentences. So we have Glenn here to help us. And Glenn, you may recall that we just learned how to say speak, I speak, you speak, and he speaks. And so maybe we could review that briefly before combining it into sentences.
Okay.
How would you say I speak?
Я говорю.
Very good. Я говорю.
Я говорю.
How about you speak?
Вы говорите.
You have a very good memory, Glenn.
Oh,
And he speaks?
Он говорит.
Very good. Okay, and in your vocabulary list for this week in the Aleutian Eagle, you notice some of these expressions. These are transliterated into English. По-русски means Russian. So, for example, I speak Russian is Я говорю по-русски. По-английски is English. Я говорю по-английски means I speak English. And we have хорошо and плохо, good and bad, or well and poorly. So you can say Я хорошо говорю. I speak well. Я плохо говорю. I speak poorly. Немножко is a little. You can tell your Russian friends, Я немножко говорю по-русски. I speak a little Russian. And if you don't speak any at all, you can just put this in between the subject and the verb. Я не говорю по-русски. Не just means not.
Yeah.
It's very similar to нет, which is no. So maybe we can try combining some of these into sentences. Glenn, tell me how you would say, I speak Russian.
Я говорю по-русски.
Yeah, я говорю по-русски. How would you say, I speak Russian well?
I believe this is the right order. Я хорошо говорю по-русски.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Я хорошо говорю по-русски. In Russian, word order isn't quite as important as in some other languages. You can jumble things around a little bit and it'll still make sense.
So you wouldn't have to put
you
the
have
word.
a little bit of leeway.
That's where you put the word good.
Yeah, you could put it at the end. Я говорю по-русски хорошо. So just worry more
that
about
makes it easy.
getting the words right. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
How about he doesn't speak Russian? He doesn't speak Russian.
Он не говорит по-русски.
Very good. How about you speak a little Russian?
Вы... I can say this word.
Немножко.
Немножко. Вы немножко говорит по-русски.
Good. You know, and if a Russian's offering you, some food and you don't want a lot, you could just go немножко, пожалуйста. A little,
Немножко.
just a little, please. And let's see. How about he speaks English poorly.
Он плотно... Oh, we. He? Oh, he is on. Okay, that's right. Он...
That's a
okay.
h. That's yeah.
Плохо.
Yeah.
Плохо. Он плохо говорит по-английски. English, is that what you said?
Yeah. Or that's good enough. He speaks English poorly.
All right.
Okay, great. Very good, Glenn. Thank you for helping us with this. And while we have the camera on, though, I just want to go through a few pronunciation drills. Once again, I do recommend that everybody tries to learn the alphabet. We'll be teaching some of the letters during the course of this course. If you are really interested in learning the alphabet, and it's really the best way to help you learn Russian is to go ahead and learn the whole alphabet, because a lot of these transliterations just will end up confusing you more than they will help you. And for example, this KH is a transliteration of the Russian letter Kha, and it's just pronounced H. And it's a lot easier just to remember X is H than KH is H.
Плохо.
Yeah. And here's another weird letter for you. That's the one we were working on yesterday. And in the vocabulary list in the Aleutian Eagle, we've been using this letter Y to be the sound. So you may want to try to keep that in mind. So, thank you for watching, and we'll be seeing you next week. До свидания. A lot of people find Russian rather intimidating because it has another alphabet, and this really isn't justifiable because learning a new alphabet isn't quite as difficult as it may seem. Here we have 3 Russian words that may look like total nonsense to those of you watching. The top word is kniga, one of the words we learned in our very first lesson. Actually, all of these are words we learned in our first lesson. Kniga, book, ruchka, pen, and chashka, cup. A lot of Russian letters are very similar to English ones, and I'll cheat by underlining them. K pretty much has the same sound, and A always has the A sound in Russian, kniga. And we have a K and an A again. And down here, A, K, and A. These are very common letters in Russian, and you'll see A's and K's all the time. Half the Soviet ships that come into town begin with the letter K, it seems. Although the strangest letters seem to be these. The ones that are most likely to cause you confusion are the ones that resemble English letters, which have no resemblance in sound to them. Like this letter here, it looks like an H, it's pronounced N. So this is kniga. This backwards N is pronounced E. This upside down L is pronounced G. So these 2 letters here, the P, if you want to call it that, is actually pronounced R, and the Y is U. Whenever you see what looks like a Y, it's always pronounced U in Russian. So here we have ruchka. The 4 is actually pronounced ch. It's a CH sound. CH, ch. Ruchka. Once again, we have the ch again. Here we have chashka. Chashka, this thing that resembles a W, is an SH sound. The Russian alphabet is actually better suited to its own language than English is, because pretty much all the letters in Russian have only one sound, with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions in the whole language. Whereas in English, you'll get an A that could be A or A, a PH, which could P's and H's could be pronounced individually in their own sounds, or they could be the F sound. TH can be pronounced the or th. It's really quite a bit more phonetically simple than English is. So once again, let me run down all these letters. K, N, I, G, A. Kniga. R, U, Ch, K, A. Ruchka. Ch, A, Sh, K, A. Чашка.
Шишек зеленых, где-то по комнатам ветер прошел, там провожали влюбленных, где-то он старые струны задел, тянется их перекличка. Вот январь наскочил, налетел, бешеный, как электричка. Мы в пух и прах наряжали тебя, мы тебе славно служили, громко в картонные трубы трубя, словно на праздник спешили. И утонченные, как соловьи, стройные, как гренадеры, что же надежные руки свои прячут твои кавалеры. Нет бы собраться им время унять, нет бы им всем расстараться, но начинают колеса стучать, как тяжело расставаться. Но начинается вновь суета, время по-своему судит, и в суете тебя сняли с креста, и воскресенья не будет. Ель моя, ель, уходящая олень, зря ты, наверно, старалась, женщины той осторожная тень в хвое твоей затерялась. Ель моя, ель, словно спас на крови твой силуэт отдаленный, будто бы свет уходящей любви, вспыхнувший, неутоленный. Синяя крона, малиновый ствол, звяканье шишек зеленых. Где-то по комнатам ветер прошел, там провожали влюбленных. Где-то он старые струны задел, тянется их перекличка. Вот январь наскочил, налетел, бешеный как электричка, бешеный как электричка. Все.
Stol,
Stole.
stol. Rучка,
Ручка. Good.
карандаш,
Good.
чашка.
Chashka. Great. Try the other side.
Мой, моя, моё.
Мой, моя, моё.
Мой.
Welcome back. We'll begin with a little bit of review here. Glenn will help us with our possessives. You may recall we went over these words here, my, your, his, and the question word, whose, just earlier in the lesson. And here we have a number of nouns of various genders. And to make it a little easier, we have their English meanings alongside. And we're going to be connecting these possessive words with these various nouns. And remember that for now, the nouns will not change form. So when you get a little farther on into Russian, everything changes, and it's just a total soup of different sounds. But for now, don't worry about it. The nouns gets worse. But for now, the nouns won't change, but they determine how the possessive words change. So, for example, город, which is city, and you want to add my to make it my city, it would just be mój город. You may know we have a couple of new words here that we haven't introduced yet. One is остров, a very relevant one for us, island, and карандаш, pencil. So Glenn, perhaps you could help our studio audience by giving us a little assistance here. How would you say my country?
My country, I would say moja strana.
Моя страна. Good.
Moja strana.
How about your fish?
Your fish, I would say I would say, let's see, your fish. I would say vasha riba.
Yeah, great. And you'll probably notice that what Glenn's doing is he's looking at these nouns and determining what gender they are. Riba is feminine because it ends in an a. Then he looks over here. Your picks out the feminine form of your. So you get vasha riba. How about my island?
My island, moj ostrov.
Yeah, mój ostrov.
Moj ostrov.
See, this is masculine. It ends in a consonant. So ostrov is masculine. You pick out the masculine form, mój ostrov. How about whose table?
Che stol.
Very good. How about whose pencil?
Che karandash.
His cup.
Jeho chashka.
Very good. And we have one new thing to introduce, and that is something related, and that is just to have. How does one say, I have, you have, he has? And it's a fairly simple pattern. У меня есть рыба would be, I have a fish. Of course, that's more relevant for Glenn to be saying, since he has a fish today.
У меня есть riba.
Good. And у меня есть судно. And we can go on. He has a table. У него есть стол. And who has a fish? У кого есть рыба?
У меня есть riba.
Great. Okay.
Hey, I'm catching on.
So let's run through a couple of these here. How would you say, I have a pen?
У меня есть ручка. У
Good.
меня есть ручка.
Excuse me, I have to
У
make a
меня
small
есть.
correction
У
here.
меня есть ручка.
Хлеб is bread. It's not хлеб. It's хлеб. There's an
Хлеб.
L in here. Хлеб. So, pardon me. Okay. How would you say, you have a ship?
У вас есть судно.
Very good. How about, who has a pencil?
У кого есть карандаш?
Yeah, try to make it more of a question.
У кого есть карандаш?
Very good, very good. How about, I have bread.
У меня есть хлеб.
Great. And let's see, he has a ship.
У него есть судно.
Okay, great. Now just answer my questions, if you could.
Oh boy.
У кого есть ручка?
Ручка?
Yeah,
У меня есть ручка.
yeah. У меня есть
У
ручка.
меня есть ручка. That means I have a pen.
Okay.
Pen.
Okay. У кого есть рыба?
У меня есть рыба.
Great. Хорошо. У кого есть судно?
У вас есть судно.
Ask me a couple of questions.
У кого есть рыба?
У вас есть рыба?
У кого есть карандаш?
У меня есть карандаш.
У кого есть рыба?
У вас есть рыба. Very good, Glenn. And that's about wrap.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Сейчас картина, фотография, хлеб, вино, водка, чай, кофе. Пожалуйста. Надо. Нельзя. Пить. Я пью. Вы пьете. Он пьет. Кушать. Я кушаю. Вы кушаете. Он кушает. Хотеть. Я хочу. Вы хотите. Он хочет. Я хочу. Вы хотите кушать? Да, я хочу кушать. Есть. У меня есть. У вас есть. У него есть. У нее есть. У кого есть?
Добрый вечер. Welcome to yet another episode of Aleutian Russian. This week, we'll be discussing a few prepositions. We'll be introducing the preposition na, meaning on, and the, meaning in. Now, when nouns follow prepositions in Russian, they change form slightly. In most cases, you just add an e on the end, a ye. So, for example, kniga would become knige, karandash, karandashe, chashka, chashke. So, in combining these, for example, on the book, you would have na knige. In the cup would be the chashke. So we have here Volodya off one of our ships to help us go through this and practice a few times. And first we should go through the vocabulary we have here, all words we've had so far, and Volodya can help remind us what they mean. Volodya, what does kniga mean?
Book,
Book. Karandash,
pencil,
chashka,
cup,
stool.
chair,
Very good, chair. Kartina
picture,
and sudna.
ship,
Okay, now let's practice a few. Volodya, how would you say on the book?
на книге,
How would you say in the cup?
в чашке,
How would you say the pencil is in the cup?
карандаш в чашке,
How about, the book is on the chair?
книга на стуле,
Very good. And the ship is in the picture.
судно в картине.
Very good. Thank you very much, Volodya. Спасибо.
Пожалуйста.
Now we will go to a few more examples. Что это?
Это судно.
А это судно?
Нет, это книга.
А что это?
Это чашка.
А чашка на книге?
Правда, чашка на книге.
А где телефон?
Вот телефон.
А, телефон на стуле или на столе?
Телефон на столе.
Сейчас. Где телефон?
Сейчас телефон на стуле.
Это карандаш или чашка?
Это карандаш. Это чашка.
А, где карандаш?
Карандаш в чашке.
И где чашка?
Чашка на книге.
А где деньги?
Деньги на столе.
А картина? Где картина?
Картина на стене.
А что в картине?
Картины судны.
Так, сейчас где судно?
Судно на столе.
Это чашка или судно?
Это чашка, а это судно.
Что на книге? Судно или чашка?
Чашка на книге.
Так, сейчас где деньги?
Деньги теперь в книге.
Так, где судно?
Судно на книге.
И деньги где?
Деньги в судне на книге.
Ну, прекрасно. Ну, спасибо, Володя.
Пожалуйста.
It's time to learn a few more letters of the Russian alphabet. And this time we've chosen the names of 3 of the Soviet ships that are working out, taking fish from American boats in the Bering Sea this year as examples. All of these ships will be coming in for port calls, so you'll get a chance to visit them yourselves, most likely. We've already learned a number of letters. You may recall learning the letter K, A. Once again, A. T is the same as in English. We just have 2 new ones here. One that resembles P, which is actually R, and one that resembles an upside down L, which is a G. So this may spell out to you the name of a very familiar ship to a lot of Unalaskans, Kargat. Kargat. You want to say that for us, Volodya?
Каргат.
Very good. Okay. On this next one, once again, we have the K, the equivalent of an R, and A, which we already know. This is an odd letter. It's sort of a backwards N with a half moon over the top. That's sort of sort of like our Y. And here we'll make it a Y. H, you may recall, has the N sound. Oh, same as in English. And here we have a V. So we have the Krainov. Krainov.
Крайнов.
Okay, once again we have another K ship. You should know all of these letters here. And just on the end here we have sort of an unusual one. That's an L. And a backwards N without the little doohickey on top is just an E sound, an E, which is usually written with just an I. So we have the vessel Katangli. Katangli.
Катангли.
So once again,
Каргат. Крайнов. Катангли.
Таганка.
может старая тюрьма центральная меня парнишечку давно ждет. Таганка, все ночи полные огня. Таганка, зачем загубила ты меня? Таганка, я твой навеки арестант. Погибли сила и талант твоих стенах. Таганка, я твой навеки арестант. Погибли сила и талант твоих стенах. Я знаю, милая, больше не встретиться. Дороги разные нам суждены. Опять по пятницам пойдут свидания и слезы горькие мои родни. Опять по пятницам пойдут свидания и слезы горькие мои родни.
Vikram as our guest instructor. Melanie teaches Russian at Unalaska High School.
Здравствуйте.
And today we're going to discuss a number of different things, introduce some new things, review some things, and we're going to center our attention on food. And so Melanie's going to help us go down this list of words, many of which we've already have, and many of which are new. And we'll work with them a little while, then we'll have some conversations, questions, and answers. In the left column here, you'll see some pronouns that we can have as subjects of sentences. First of all, we have
Я.
I,
Вы.
you,
Он.
he,
Она.
she,
Кто.
who. And in our next column, we have two verbs, to want and to love.
Хочет.
How would you say I want?
Я хочу.
Yeah, we have the conjugations, how to change these verbs in our vocabulary list, which are printed in the Aleutian Eagle. Or you could perhaps buy a cassette of this whole Russian course from Channel 8 and go back and look at one of the previous lessons. But remember that for different verbs, different pronouns, these verbs change in different ways. And after a while, you get to see patterns in them, so they aren't quite as intimidating with time. So once again, we'll go down some of these verbs. Хотеть. How would you say you want?
Вы хотите.
How about she wants?
Она хочет.
Good. And who wants?
Кто хочет?
Yeah, good. You'll notice that when you use кто, it's the same form as on and она, he and she. And любить, to love, how would you say I love?
Я люблю.
Я люблю. How about you love?
Вы любите.
And who loves?
Кто любит?
Very good. In the third column, we have some more verbs. I put them in the third column and not in the second column with these other verbs because you can combine these together. We have the verbs drink,
Пить.
eat,
Кушать.
read,
Читать.
and do.
Делать.
And you'll notice that you can combine these to say, I want to drink, he loves to read, etc. You can combine them in almost any combination, anyone that makes sense.
He loves
in English.
to eat.
Yeah, he loves.
She loves to read. I want to read.
Yeah, and then you can just add these
I want to
foods. We have foods and a couple of things you don't eat but read here on the bottom, newspaper and book. So, anyway, once again, we'll practice our conjugation.
Oh, Mark, how would you say I drink?
Я пью.
Хорошо. And how would you say you drink?
Вы пьете.
Вы пьете. And how would you say he drinks?
He drinks, он пьет.
And she drinks?
Она пьет.
And who drinks?
Кто пьет?
Он пьет, она пьет, кто пьет?
Yeah, notice that the verb form doesn't change with он, она, and кто.
Хорошо. How would you say I eat, or I am eating, or I do eat?
Я кушаю.
Я кушаю. Хорошо. How would you say you are eating, you eat, or you do eat?
Вы кушаете. Now this is sort of an unusual form of to eat. It's sort of a less formal one than you may have learned if you're studying Russian on your own in another course. But we've picked this one because it conjugates the same way as these other two verbs. You'll notice that the ending on all of them is the same. Maybe you could ask me a few of those too.
How would you say he reads?
Он читает.
Хорошо. She is doing. She is doing.
Она делает.
You are doing.
Вы делаете.
And adding the word что, which we know from before, how would you say, what are you doing?
Что вы делаете?
Что вы делаете? Хорошо.
Very good. And once you realize that these all have to take the same endings, я кушаю, я читаю, я делаю,
Which
and
means
so on.
I eat, I drink, I eat, I read, I do.
Yeah. Once you get the hang of it, you get the pattern down, you learn a new verb, and you don't have to worry about memorizing it. You just, because they follow the same patterns. And we'll just run down some of these foods in the last column. Bread,
Хлеб,
cheese,
сыр,
butter,
масло,
tea,
чай,
beer,
пиво,
fructi,
fruit,
newspaper,
газета,
kniga.
book.
Okay, we'll make a couple of quick questions, then
Milk.
we'll have a... Did I miss milk?
Молоко.
Молоко. Okay. So we'll make a few sentences here, and then we'll go on to some vocabulary with Igor. So, Melanie, how would you say, I love to eat cheese?
Я люблю кушать сыр.
How about, who is reading the newspaper?
Кто читает газету?
Let's see, how about, what is he reading?
Что
Oh,
он,
it's from last week.
что он читает?
How about, you are drinking tea?
Вы
Drinking, пьете.
пьете чай.
Very good. And I...
That was your verb.
Oh, that was my verb. I'm sorry. But you give me one with that then.
All right, how do you say, she loves to drink milk.
Она
Loves.
любит пить молоко.
Хорошо. Who wants to eat fruit? Who wants to eat fruit?
Кто хочет кушать фрукты? And one other thing that I think I've overlooked is when you have two verbs in a row, the second one doesn't change at all. Хочу пить. The first one changes form, it conjugates, but the second one doesn't, which simplifies matters even more. One last note before we go. You may have noticed in your vocabulary list in the Aleutian Eagle, and here on the board, that we have a little doohickey here on the end of all the verbs. That is to sort of symbolize the soft sign. It's this Russian letter here, which has no sound. It just changes the sound of the letter before and makes it, instead of a t sound, more of a ch sound. And so it's just to soften the ending. And you normally transliterate that into English by a little apostrophe. Okay, thank you for watching, and now we'll go to some vocabulary practice with Igor Klemenko.
Обрати внимание, в фокусе.
Raya!
Peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. Повтори.
Повторить? А что повторить?
Peanut butter chocolate chip cookies.
Anyway, I'm gonna do the cookies again, okay?
Yeah, we're high.
Dancing in the kitchen.
Нож, убери, некрасиво. Скажешь, как врагом народа нельзя.
Dance.
Sorry, big head.
Hey, I always wanted a green.
Oh no!
Is that okay to put in there?
Yeah.
No ceilings. Where's Shirley Temple, man?
Your friend's gonna love this, man.
Yeah, man. After this, we'll go to my place. Really? Cool. Учи.
Танцевать. Твист.
Это слова для 5-го урока. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Магазин, фрукты, мясо, сыр, молоко, сахар, суп, рыба, соль, перец, картошка, борщ, овощи, можно, журнал. Я читаю. Вы читаете. Он читает. Делать. Я делаю. Вы делаете. Он делает. Любить. Я люблю. Вы любите. Он любит. Сколько стоит? Это стоит $5.
The captain's a little shy.
How do you do, my dear Americans people? I'm and our crew. I'm very our crew members crew very glad what пришли coming.
To have you come today.
Все правильно. И надеюсь, значит, наш ансамбль послужит for friendship, contact with American people and Soviet people. Да. Okay. Many Soviet songs. We do not prepare English songs. In English, no. Плохо знаю. Very bad.
We don't know English songs very well.
Yes. We prepare many souvenirs for you. Надеюсь, хочу познакомить. May I introduce first mate Александр Глушков. Chief mate Виктор Генне, jazz band. mechanic, hydro navigator, electric, and electric too, president, руководитель, manager.
Leader of the group.
Что следующее? Следующая песня «Незнакомка». Для моряка это особенно трудно познакомиться. Мы бываем в море, как говорится, радостные, настроенные, а на берегу приходим, становимся стеснительные. Очень. Песня «Незнакомка».
I've already forgotten everything you said. This next song is called Stranger, and this is especially pertinent to sailors, seamen who go out to sea, and they go out to sea and they're healthy and they have color in their cheeks, and then they come back after 6 months and they're sickly. Nobody wants to look at them.
Я совсем не знаю, как тебя зовут. На славою случай свел на 5 минут. Может, это кажется, но все же на других совсем ты не похожа. Смотришь на часы, тебя, наверное, где-то ждут. Может, это кажется, но все же на других совсем ты не похожа. Ты исчезнешь через несколько минут. Но мы с тобой знакомы, незнакомка, и не зная обо мне. Ты ко мне приходишь, незнакомка, но пока что лишь во сне. Мы с тобой знакомы, незнакомка, и не зная обо мне. Ты ко мне приходишь, незнакомка, но пока что лишь во сне. Не жди, чтоб к тебе не подошел. Я не нашел. Волосы, как солнце, золотые, и глаза, как небо, голубые, что погожим днем казалось, будто дождь прошел. Волосы, как солнце, золотые, и глаза, как небо, голубые, что погожим днем казалось, будто дождь прошел. Но мы с тобой знакомы, незнакомка, и не зная обо мне. Ты ко мне приходишь, незнакомка, но пока что лишь во сне. Мы с тобой знакомы, незнакомка, и не зная обо мне. Ты ко мне приходишь, незнакомка, но пока что лишь во сне. Ты ко мне приходишь, незнакомка, и не зная обо мне. Ты ко мне...
Чай. Молоко. Вино. Сыр. Хлеб. Мясо.
А, ты хочешь кушать мясо?
Нет, спасибо. Я не хочу кушать мясо.
А ты хочешь пить чай?
Сейчас я не хочу чаю.
А вино? Ты хочешь пить вино?
Спасибо, я не хочу вина.
А молоко?
Спасибо, молоко я буду пить.
А, прекрасно. А сыр? Ты хочешь кушать сыр?
Да, я очень хочу сыр.
А хлеб?
Я очень люблю хлеб, и я хочу хлеба.
Ты хочешь кушать хлеб или мясо?
Я хочу кушать хлеб.
А ты хочешь молоко или вино?
Я хочу молоко.
Что ты хочешь пить?
Я буду пить молоко.
А что ты хочешь кушать?
Я буду кушать хлеб с сыром.
Ну, бери.
Спасибо.
We're just going to introduce quickly a few new words. First of all, the word delicious, вкусно. Russian offers you some food and you want to give them the impression that you're enjoying it. You could say, вкусно. Это очень вкусно. This is very delicious. Спасибо. Thank you. It can also be changed into an adjective, but we won't be getting into adjectival endings until a later week. But you may want to remember the root, which is the beginning part here, вкусно, and then the endings change, as we'll see in a later lesson. Just below it, we have the word which, or what, depending on how you use it. Какой, какая, and какое are the three different forms for masculine, feminine, and neuter. You may remember that pivo, beer, ends in an o sound, so it's neuter. So you would ask, какое пиво? Which beer? Or what kind of beer is another way you could translate it. Это какое пиво? What kind of beer is this? Это пиво Moosehead. Sir is masculine. It ends in a consonant. So if you're asking what kind of cheese it is, you'd ask, это какой сыр? What kind of cheese is it? Or if you want to ask the Russian what kind of fish they have, or what kind of fish they're catching, remember riba is feminine because it ends in an a sound. So you'd say, это какая риба? What kind of fish is it? Это cod, or if you want to learn the Russian, это треска, or it's yellowfin, это желтопёрая камбала. You can learn all the different names for all the different fish if you like. So once again, вкусно, delicious. Какой, masculine form of which. Какая, and какое. Как вас зовут?
Меня зовут Мелани. Как вас зовут?
Меня зовут Марк. Что вы делаете?
Я читаю газету. И я пью чай тоже.
Ты любишь пить чай?
Да, я люблю чай. Очень. А что вы делаете?
Я пью молоко и читаю журнал. Я люблю читать журналы. Мелани, что это?
Это сыр.
А это что это?
Это хлеб.
А это фрукты или овощи?
Это фрукты. Это не овощи.
Yeah, we're just using the word frukti, fruit, for now. The word for this, in case you're wondering, is яблоко, apple. Ты любишь кушать хлеб?
Да, я люблю кушать хлеб.
Любишь кушать хлеб и фрукты? Или ты любишь кушать хлеб и сыр?
Я люблю кушать хлеб и сыр.
А что это?
Что это? Это суп.
Это хороший суп?
Да, это хороший суп.
А,
Good soup.
Ты сейчас пьешь молоко? Вы сейчас пьете молоко? We got into another pronoun there, sorry about that. Вы сейчас пьете молоко?
Сейчас нет. Now, no. Сейчас я пью чай.
Now I am drinking tea, she says. Кто сейчас пьет молоко?
Вы сейчас
Да.
пьете молоко.
Да, я сейчас пью. А это? Что это?
Это хлеб.
А это фрукты или овощи?
Это фрукты. Это не овощи.
Yeah, we're just using the word fructi, fruit, for now. The word for this, in case you're wondering, is яблоко, apple. Ты любишь кушать хлеб?
Да, я люблю кушать хлеб.